Welcome to MTG Ectoplasm, your home for Spirit Tribal and Magic the Gathering. On this episode, it's a loaded potato. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking Neon Dynasty teasers, the future of MTG Ectoplasm, MTG news, and finally, the shout-out section, where I'm looking for the best, the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme. Are you excited? I am. So let's get this thing started, shall we? Let's go. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on this episode. I am your host, Dwight, aka D Blanco, a medium that wears an extra large. You can reach out to me on Twitter at MTG Ectoplasm, or you can email me directly at mtgectoplasm@gmail.com. Let me know how am I doing. Am I doing a good job, a bad job, or I shouldn't quit my day job? And then finally, mtgectoplasm@gmail.com. Oh, I did that one. mtgectoplasm.com. This is a website that we're working on. The Ravishing Renata right now is working on the back end. So if it looks like a piece of excrement, please be patient. But we're working slowly but surely on it. Now, as I ask you each and every single episode, do me a favor. There's a follow, like, subscribe button somewhere around here. Hit that thing for me, all right? It lets you know when the latest and greatest episodes get posted. And also, it keeps me aware of who's watching and listening to the show. And then do me a favor. Tell your friends and family about the show. Because if you like magic and they like magic, they're going to like the show. And if you like spirits or spirit news, hey, they're really going to love this. All right? So there you go. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me. Happy New Year. I hope everybody has a wonderful and prosperous New Year. There's a reason why I haven't been broadcasting in a quick minute, and I came down with the COVID. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I got sick, and now the Ravishing Renata, unfortunately, now has it as well. But have no fear, have no worry. I'm going to live strong. I'm going to prosper, the Trekkies, right? We're gonna overcome this thing. But I hope you yourself stay healthy. All right. So now that I've jumbled my brain, that I screwed up the intro, but you know what it is, right? It's my first time back, starting in a new year. And technically speaking, if you think about it, this is our 1 year anniversary, ladies and gentlemen. I started 1 year ago today putting spirit content out there. So if you've been with me since day one, I want to thank you for being a super listener. And if you haven't and you just joined me, let's say yesterday or today, I want to say thank you. It means a lot to me for your support and you being with me during this time. Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, now that the pleasantries are over and said and done with, it's now time for segment number one. And segment number one is brought to you by my friends at Greg's Games. That's right, Greg's Games. They're you can find them at 2103 White Horse, Mercerville Road, Hamilton, New Jersey, 08619. That's their zip code. Their telephone number is 609-890-0011. You can find them all over through their social media. They have great events there. They do a lot of legacy, modern. I know they're starting to do, more events. So this is a little shop that I recommend. I love, and they actually expanded the shop, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're in the Trenton, Central New Jersey area, this is a spot you need to check out. Greg's Games. So please do me a favor, go over there, tell them, hey, I heard you on MTG Ectoplasm, and I like what I hear from this guy, and he likes you a lot. So tell Greg and his staff you heard us advertise them on MTG Ectoplasm. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now that the sponsorship portion is done, it's now time for me to talk about Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. That's right. We're going back to Kamigawa. Now, I don't know if you've been there before. You joined me back in my years of my youth, let's say almost 20 years ago. We reached the plane of Kamigawa. It was spirits versus everybody else because everybody hated spirits, and the Kami, aka spirits, ended up winning, started kicking ass. They ended up destroying a castle called Ijanjo or something like that, Ijango. But you know what? They destroyed the castle, and you know what? For some reason, we go back, what, 20,000 years, 2,000 years later, to discovering a new version of Kamigawa. We're seeing it in the future. It's a neon punk style. They're telling us, think, you know, uh, this one movie, I forget what it's called, Blade Runner. They're like, think of Blade Runner, but with magic. So, I'm like, you know what? I'm cool with this. Now, as my first thoughts seeing some of these cards, I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't sure. Kamigawa really was a set that was underwhelming, underdeveloped. It just it just missed a lot. But seeing what I'm seeing now, I'm a little excited. I'm a little titillated, as you can say. Now, I did mention in my prognostications for this set that I expected to see some uh, abilities. I did mention that vehicles would be back, and I was correct in saying that. There was a card posted earlier today. I'm not going to get into it. It's a very good card, but I'm going to save it for later in future episodes. But I said that ninjutsu would return. I was 100% about that. Also, that the ability channel would be back. Uh, you know, if Channel Fireball has to tell you anything, Channel plus Fireball, you had to see this ability Channel come back. It's a moral imperative. I'm happy to see it back, and it's on a land, and I'm excited that we'll end up talking about this. Now, where do I see Kamigawa Neon Dynasty? Well, I'll be honest with you. 2021 was terribly underwhelming, very underpowered. The only powered set that we powered, yeah, technically the powered set that we ended up getting was what? We ended up getting Modern Horizons 2. Ooh, Modern Horizons 2. But what did that leave for standard? Left us wanting. So I think they ended up doing in their infinite wisdom because Kamigawa wasn't really one of the better sets in previous years. They're like, you know what? We're gonna streamline and make sure everything's even killed, and then we're gonna throw fire design into Kamigawa and see what happens. And let me just tell you, power level. Let me just tell you, I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I'm seeing what I'm liking. So far, it's still early. There's about maybe technically about 10 to 15 cards technically spoiled. There's all like different variations of the same card, but there's technically about what 10 to 15 cards that technically were spoiled. And I still think we haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg of potential badass cards. Just saying that. Just saying. Now, I did predict that this did predict this would be artifact heavy. You know what? I may be wrong. This is going to be legendary heavy. I should have remembered because the previous time we were there in Kamigawa, there was a lot of legends. Well, what I'm seeing again, legends are going to be huge. And you know what? I'm happy with it. The only reason why, my prognostication of artifacts was I was like, well, Neon, we're going to go to a cyberpunk world. They deal with computers. Why aren't we going to see artifacts? I expected a artifact heavy. I'm wrong. But seeing legendary, this is going to be fun. Now, the question is this set going to be tailored to modern, pioneer? What is it going to be set to? Commander? But I know friends of mine. Oh, there it is. There he goes. One of my cousin from Hawaii, David Mustafa, loves himself some legendary. So thank you for chiming in from David Mustafa from Hawaii. So let's start with the first card. The first card that I want to talk about was Sotaro Numazawa. That's right, Sotaro Numazawa. It's a generic, a blue and a black, a 2/4 human ninja. Legendary creature, that is. Now, let me read it for you. Whenever you activate a ninjutsu ability, you may look at the top three cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the rest at the bottom of your library in any order. This ability triggers only once a turn. Okay, so that's fair, right? But you got to read the next line, which is the piece de resistance, as the French would say. It says each creature card in your hand has ninjutsu if you play two generic, a blue and a black. Wow. So previous cards that do not have ninjutsu on it now have ninjutsu. That's amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Why I like about it, it helps you by doing the ninjutsu. It helps you filter what's on top of your hand, what's on top, sorry, top of your library, because you get to look at the top three cards, and you get the card that you want, and you go, these other two cards, I don't like them. Back into the grid, back into the bottom of the library. Make sure, and the best part, it doesn't leave you with a stagnant hand. It allows you to sit there and focus your time in attacking. Now, the only issue that I really have with this card is the fact that where does it leave you with interaction? See, now you have to sit there and pray with this particular type of card that you're looking for free interaction. For example, shall we say, the elementals from Modern Horizons 2, stuff like that. Now, where do I see this card being good? I see this card being exceptionally doing well in modern. It's very strong, but honestly, it leaves me wanting in modern or even pioneer. Standard, you know what? Standard, it may see play for 3 mana and a 2/4. It's not bad. And Commander, hell yes, this is going to see some severe play. I actually see this becoming one of the better CEDH cards, Commanders. Now, if you don't know what CEDH is, it means just competitive Elder Dragon Highlander. Now, the next card that I want to talk about. Now, you're going to please forgive me how I'm mentioning the word or pronouncing the card's name. I'm calling it Atsushi. Atsushi, the Blazing Sky. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, our first spirit here. It's a two generic, two red, legendary creature, dragon spirit, a 4/4. Now, 4/4 flyer with trample for 4 mana. Not bad. Not bad at all. But shall we keep on reading? When Atsushi, the Blazing Sky dies, you can choose one of these mods. Ready? Exile the top two cards of your library until the end of turn. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. Okay, not bad. But the next one, I see that this is the money part. Create 3 treasure tokens. This is a this is a dragon that gives candy, ladies and gentlemen. This is a nice little dragon here. I don't know about you, but how many dragons do you know end up giving you candy like this? Not too many. Now, where do I find this deck? Where would I find this? Honestly, this is a card that I expect potentially in a future Jeskai build in spirits. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. I think there's a potential here for a Jeskai build for this card. Now, am I going to be the one? I'm going to try to do my best to prove myself correct. I have friends, Tuesday Tastic, based out of Utah. He's been trying to build a Jeskai spirit deck for quite some time. A dragon that gives candy allows you to accelerate your mana very quickly. I don't see why not. Now, one thing that I do like about this, you can use this for commander. Now, The reason why I bring this is there are particular two cards you want to consider if you want to use this card for commander. And the first one, Renata, if you don't mind, the Ravishing Renata, is Ashnod's Altar. That's right, Ashnod's Altar is 3 generic. Sacrifice a creature, add 2 uh, brown mana to your mana pool. All right. The cool thing about this is that if you sacrifice Atsushi, remember you get three treasure tokens. Plus this, it gives you a total of 5. Okay, now you're gonna go, Dwight. Where are you going with this? The next card that you need to make sure you have on the battlefield to set it up is Nim Deathmantle, which is 2 generic. Let me read it for you. Whenever a non-creature is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, you may pay 4. Listen there. You may pay 4. If you do, return that card to the battlefield and attach Nim's Deathmantle to it. I don't know if you caught that there, ladies and gentlemen. By having Nim's Deathmantle and Ashnod's Altar, you sacrifice the dragon, you automatically get 3 treasure tokens and 2 colorless mana. That's a total of 5. And the dragon comes back onto the battlefield thanks to Deathmantle. So that's if you pay the 4. So you get 1 mana, 1 free floating mana. Hate to tell you, that's infinite mana there. Infinite, infinite, over and over and over again. Do me a favor, go back to Atsushi, please, the red dragon. Now, as you see, because the last ability, it gives us the infinite loop for the infinite mana. Now, if we look at the first ability, exile the top 2 cards of your library until end of your next turn. You may play those cards. Well, once you have the infinite mana, guess what? Now you're sacrificing Atsushi. So now you can play your entire deck that turn with the infinite mana because you have that 1 red mana sitting there. So, commander players, if you're looking for an infinite deck to play your play your deck, you have Atsushi, Ashnod's Altar, and Nim Deathmantle. You're welcome. You're welcome. You didn't expect that here, but I'm not a overly commander player, but this is it's a sick 3-piece combo that I know some would love to take advantage of. Now, the next card I want to talk about is Ijanjo, Seat of the Imperial, Seat of the Empire. This is a legendary land. I love, love this card. I think it's an amazing card. The reason why I say so is because it comes into play and you tap it for 1 white. Not bad. But you got to consider spirit players like myself who enjoy playing Azorius. Okay, I play a legendary land, comes into play, boom. Not tapped, just comes into play. Now, the second ability, this is the channel. Ready? 2 generic, 1 white. You discard a Janjo, Seed of the Empire. It deals 4 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each legendary creature you control. Well, let's be honest here, ladies and gentlemen. Realistically, in spirits, we're not really playing tons and tons of legendary creatures. Now, we did have Catilda, the Dawnheart. All right, that is seeing play right now in Pioneer, and this would do exceptionally well in that Pioneer build. So that would lower the mana cost by 1, so it'd be like a generic and 1 generic and white. But think about this, ladies and gentlemen. If your board state, if you say you have enough land, 4, maybe 5 land, and you have this, usually with a land in our hand, it's a dead card. We're doing nothing. But now this gives us interaction. This gives us the ability to sit there and say, come at me, bro. I'm going to attack. I'm going to fly over, beat you, smash you in the head, and come at me, bro. Come at me, sis. Let's see what you got. Do you have the gonadal fortitude to come at me? Because if you do, your creature's going to take 4. Or if I have a creature and you think you're going to block, you're going to claim the block. Okay, sucks my creature dies, but I'm definitely taking yours with me. Yeah, it's a 2-for-1, but did I really miss out because it's a legendary land? That's why I love this card. The potential and the interactivity of this card, it makes it absolutely amazing. And the fact that, ladies and gentlemen, you got to consider how many creatures have protection from lands. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm looking at my watch right now. That's right. Hold on. I'm waiting. Oh, that's right. There is none. Now, there may be, true name nemesis protection from yada yada and, progenitus protection from everything. But there's no protection from lands. None. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is an insane, insane card. Now, the black one got spoiled, and that allows your opponent allows you to mill your own deck, and then you get to pick out a planeswalker or creature. Not bad. That's something I expect to see in dredge decks. But realistically, I can't wait to see what the blue one does. Because if the blue one does anything like Igenjo, Seed of the Empire, whoo, sweet baby Jesus, this here is going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I want to say that tidbit for last. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me what your thoughts are. Reach out to me at mtgectoplasm@gmail.com and let me know if you agree with me. Now it's time for segment number 2. Segment number 2 is the future of MTG Ectoplasm. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's now 2022. Like I said, this is the 1-year anniversary of the show. Like typical shows, we got to do more. We got to do better. We got to improve. We got to build with the momentum that we have. You and the thousands and thousands around the world listening, I say thank you. So what are we doing? As I mentioned earlier, the Ravishing Renata, the one sitting next to me, unfortunately, COVID filled. She's now fixing the website. We didn't like how it looked. And she's slowly but surely fixing it to get it to where, you, the listening audience and viewers are going to go, you know what? Like it. Big fan. Also, I know some of you have been reaching out to me like, yo, Dwight, that logo that you got right there, this ghost right here, pretty bad. Badass. And that blue sheet thing that you got over there, I like it. When's the coffee mug? Well, when's the t-shirt coming out? Because I could use a coffee mug or t-shirt. Well, have no fear, have no worries, ladies and gentlemen. Our merchandise is coming soon. You can get your MTG merch as soon as you want and have no fear, no worry. Our spectacular gear is going to be amazing. As you see there, the wonderful Ravishing Renata ended up making a cute little thing like, hey, these are the little cool things we're doing and share with the audience. And there you go. That's what we're going to end up doing. So if you're watching on YouTube, you're seeing it and hopefully you like it. Also, so the next thing is that we're going to try to do a show 1 day a week live. We're going to try to keep it consistent 1 day a week where you get to ask questions to me. Where, take like a Saturday around like 7 p.m. or something like that. We haven't decided specifically. But, go onto YouTube or Twitch or something. We'll let you know when we first do it. And we're going to call it MTG Ectoplasm IRL in real life because we want to interact with you. We want to share. We want to hear your thoughts and share it with the community. If it's spirits, awesome, share it. If it's about merfolk, I'm in. You want to talk about death and taxes, I'm in. Dredge, I'm in. Whatever you want to do, I'm in. Let's talk about Magic the Gathering because there's not a lot of people doing it, and we need to discuss. I know there's people out here who want to share their feelings about Magic, and I'm all for it. And then finally, we're going to do MTG Ectoplasm gameplay. That's right. I'm actually going to start doing MTGO. This not something I've been trying to do it for quite some time. It's official now. We're going to start doing it sometime in February, trying to get everything situated. I'm actually looking at the Ravishing Renata like, is the thing set? Yes, no, almost. She's like, don't worry. Sometime in February, we're going to start doing MTG Ectoplasm gameplay where you actually get to see me play Magic the Gathering. Also, the fact that I'm considering starting in Pioneer because it's a little cheaper. I'm going to be quite sincere with you. I spent a lot on my gear. Um, Thanks to some of you donating to the show. 100% appreciate that. But with that being said, we're going to start a little slow. We're going to start in Pioneer, and then we're going to grow. Now, I would love to hear from you, the listening audience. What deck I should build? Should I go with Mono Blue Snow, which I am a huge fan of, or should I do Azorius, or finally Bant? Now, Bant, that's the pretty penny one, and I know many of you are going to go, "Oh, go Bant, go Bant, go Bant." But let's try it. Let's. I want to hear what you got to say. Now, if there's anything you want us to do or share, do me a favor, reach out to us. We're open, we're an open book. We have no fear, no shame. We're willing to, you know, put ourselves out there. So with that being said, it's now time for segment number 3, MTG news. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. There's news out there, and I got here in my formerly chocolatey stained fingers, which I hope to have a little bit of orange sherbet later because I love me some orange sherbet. Hasbro. That's right. Hasbro, the mothership, has now named its CEO. And the gentleman, his name is Chris Cox. I'm not trying to make a joke here. The guy's name is Chris Cox. The reason why I'm trying not to, make fun of the gentleman is because if he watches the show, I don't want him going, jerk. I would like to have him on the show. I'd like to talk to him. Now, this individual, he used to be the top guy at WotC. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So you got to consider, we were the third, Wizards of the Coast was the third division of Hasbro. And the Hasbro executives decided in their infinite wisdom going, you know what? This WotC, this Wizards of the Coast thing, they're doing something really good here. You're putting out some great product. The Magic the Gathering, the Dungeons and Dragons. We're seeing more and more content being out there. People are playing, these games, and they're generating a lot of revenue. So with that being said, Hasbro decided to sit there and pluck WotC as CEO and make it Hasbro's. He's officially going to take over February 25th. Not bad. Not bad. Now, if you look at Hasbro stocks, currently, I checked earlier today, it was at $102.78 a share under HAS. Now, I dabble here. Have, I'm not going to say my nest egg, but I try to make some money. Do I do a good job? No, I'm going to be honest with you. I tend to lose more money than I make money. So that's why I'm not telling you buy Hasbro. But what I will tell you is analysts have been saying buy, 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 and hold. The hold is for the long term. Now they're telling you this. I'm not saying nothing. I'm keeping my mouth shut. But they really like this Chris Cox guy. For the short term, what they're going to end up doing is they're going to end up selling NFTs. I don't know what like these little fake digital things, not fake, but digital images. For the short term, to generate a lot more revenue for Hasbro. So you're going to see, you know, My Little Pony, Dungeons and Dragons, so on and so forth, NTFs. So if you know about that stuff and you know how to make money on it, congratulations. You do you. I have no clue. So you can reach out to me at mtgectoplasm at gmail. Maybe you can educate me. But what does that leave for Watsy about Chris Cox? Where does that leave us? So far, Watsy has not said anything of who's going to take over. And I'm curious. Watsy, under the guise of Hasbro, we're told, hey, you got to make more revenue. You got to double your revenue for the next 5 years. And they succeeded. So the question is, the next guy, are they going to tell him you got to double that too? Or are they going to say, expand the game, expand Watsy, expand Dungeons and Dragons, expand Magic the Gathering? And that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for Magic to grow and prosper. That's my thought. In other Magic the Gathering news, a Black Lotus was stolen from an LGS in California from a store called Finch and Sparrow Games. Come on, man. A Black Lotus. This is a beta Black Lotus. Now, what's interesting about it, it had Richard Garfield's signature and Christopher Rush. Now, if you don't know, and you're a new Magic the Gathering player, okay, you're forgiven. I'll explain it to you. Richard Garfield is the individual who created Magic the Gathering. Created Magic the Gathering. Christopher Rush is the individual who illustrated it, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful card. Now, the cool thing is Christopher's Rush signatures in gold, and then you have Richard Garfield's in black ink. Somewhere right between the type line where it says artifact. But unfortunately, this card, this beta was stolen from an LGS. Now, they do have the image of the individual. And it looks like every typical Magic the Gathering player, unfortunately. Hell, I even dress like this person. And it upsets me. It really does, because I think we're a better community than that. No matter how badass or how expensive a card is, I don't think we should be out there going, you know what, sticky fingers. This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to put myself out there. I believe, I'm an old school snitches get stitches, right? That's an old thing that you say, right? I'm going to put myself out there. If you are the individual who stole this card and you happen to be listening or end up watching this podcast, I don't want you to destroy this card. It's a very expensive card, and it's a very rare card. This is what I'm going to say, because I'm an open and very honest individual. Reach out to me. Okay. I've said my name multiple times, mtgectoplasm@gmail.com. Reach out to me. I will do everything in my power to make sure that I return that card back to its owner, and I will not turn you in. You will not get that from anybody else, because everybody will throw you under the bus. I'm trying to extend a forgiving hand, because people make stupid mistakes, and this is I'm not going to say this is a mistake. What you did is stupid and idiotic. But with that being said, this card should be returned to the owner expeditiously. I'll tell you one thing. I wish you would go to the owner, hand it, and say, I'm sorry, and walk away and pray they never find you again. But I'm willing to sit there and open myself up and say, if you listen to the show, reach out to me. I will do everything in my power to return that card to the individual and not mention your name. I will not just, if 50 cops, the popo want to say something, I don't know nothing. but the card shop got their card back. And to me, that means a lot more than anything. And then finally, it's not really Magic the Gathering news. It's more like Spirit Talk. My friend, Brian Tangent, he was on the show last week. And Brian was talking about Cemetery Illuminator. Now, Brian is the administrator of the Spirit fan page. And he was playing with Cemetery Illuminator. And he wanted me to let you know the card is gas. The card is amazing. The card is bonkers. And he wanted me to let you know that when Cemetery Eliminator enters the battlefield, you get to exile the card. Okay, exile the card. But when it attacks, you can exile the next card. Before you choose to exile, look at the top card of your library. Make sure you do that because he ended up doing it and he ended up playing Coco. And he spit out creatures. And next thing you know, he ended up picking out a creature. He ended up looking at the top card. Oh, it was a creature. And then he was able to play a creature on the following turn. So he just wanted me to remind all my listeners out there, if you're going to use Cemetery Eliminator, before that trigger hits, make sure that, look at the top card of your library before you exile a card. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the end of our segment number 3. Finally, the shout out section, where I'm looking for the best of the best, the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme. Now, if you didn't make it, have no fear, have no worry. It is quite all right. We, the Spirit community, will be rooting for you so you eventually get there. So now, in Pioneer, now I had to sit there, wait a full week, because remember, ladies and gentlemen, I ended up catching the COVID, and now I'm back. And you can tell by the sultry, deep voice of mine, which is never like that. So in Pioneer, January 3rd, first place with a band finish, Ufuchi Shupi. Ufuchi Shupi. Same day, first place with the Azorius build, Yamamura Shuma. Yamamura Shuma. Same day with a band build, Omome Hajime. Ome Hajime. On January 6th, first place with the Mono Blue Snow build, friend of the show, the Spirit Master, Andre Segura. Look at that, Andre. Good job, my man. January 7th, first place with the Mono Blue Snow build. Holy crap. How do you pronounce this? Yugagata Yakaru. January 10th, 5-0 with a Mono Blue Snow build, Hiro Tsuke. And then finally, January 10th, 5-0 with a band build, Kente. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, those who kick ass and take names in Pioneer. And then finally, Modern. In Modern, January 3rd, first place, Azorius finish, Tori Nato. And then January 7th, 5-0 with an Azorius finish, Dr. Queller, the Spirit Master. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on this episode. I appreciate it. I know it's a little slow, a little rundown, but you got to forgive me. I'm trying to get my voice back up to getting this episode done correctly. But I want to thank you, the thousands and thousands listening around the world, and the handful that are watching on YouTube. I 100% appreciate that. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the next time you're kicking your opponent's ass, make sure they say that's Bushi. I'm out of here.